Boom. You are now live and direct with the one and only Choke No Joke. Good evening. Choke No Joke is in the building. How y'all feeling out there? See that little golfer? I need to talk to some nurses, man. Y'all do know it's Nurse Week, right? It is Nurse Week. Shout out to all the nurses out there saving lives. You know, it's y'all week, baby. It's y'all week. Y'all should have a month. You know what I mean? Tasha Rain in the building. Michelle Frizzy's here. All right. Whack on Wood just stepped in the building. Sticky Finger just chimed in with the sticky finger. You know what I mean? Choke No Joke. It is Nurse Week. And not only is it Nurse Week, it is day 3. All right? Day 3. Okay? 3 for the Diddy trial, bro. The day 3 for the Diddy trial. Okay? All right? So, you know what we got to do. I got to tell you what's going on with the Diddy trial, man. Okay? So, papi, mami, you keep it locked right here. Choke No Joke. I am live right now. And one of the witnesses in the Diddy case for the prosecutors, they went missing, bro. Yeah. Choke No Joke. You already know. The show about to start right now. We here, man. One of the witnesses is gone.
Choke No Joke. Yeah. It's Choke No Joke. Choke No Joke. Chicken Choke No Joke. Choke No Joke. Nigga Choke No Joke.
Choke No Joke. Jack Brown. Yeah, now.
Choke No Joke. Jack Brown. Yeah. This what ATL in New York sound like. Let's go. Y'all hating ass niggas, I see y'all. Choke get busy, that's why I got the crown. Hate in the air, you clowns, I see the envy that you breathe, jealousy. What you need is your own damn hustle. Stop worrying about mine. Nigga, I'm popping cause I put in time. Came out modeling, camera in hand. Still get busy with the mic in hand. Streets pulled out, niggas got sprayed. Niggas turn on you when they see you get paid. The intimidation in your face. Where's the love? What's taking place? You want my gold and my ducats, cause my money overflowing out of buckets. Shot him in public, made people holler. Scar on his face for the money and the power. I'm the chokester. Chokester. The truth in the industry made me the chokester. 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 The truth in the industry made me the game had me fooled, got in, was young. Thought talent made you rich, damn was dumb. More to make, cake from crumbs. You gotta be sweet, G or native tongue. My heartbeat went into overload when Larry tried to turn me into a mole. Told me show my curly to the CEO. I didn't think it's funny, so his jaw hit the floor and grabbed that chair that broke his back. Then realized that's a hate attack. Harassment comes assault, you in the maze. No way out, like Puff and Mace. Touch me, tease me, I catch a case. Nigga, you ain't straight as your poker face. Father law God, in that game I fold. This sun don't tick, demon time don't hold. I'm the chokester. Chokester. The truth in the industry made me the choker. 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 The truth in the industry made me the choker. Choker. The truth in the industry made me the choker. Choker. On the ones and twos, choker. What y'all want to do? I'm here now. Eden Wall, stand up. Shout out to the Bomb Squad. Jack Brown. You know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is. Never did I think hip-hop go this far. Never did I think I see Diddy behind bars or kills, penitentiary scars. The man act, is it going too far? Back, y'all industry rats, y'all whack. That's 100 on Pyro. You'll be trapped like Pac. The go viral. Gene saw the nuts of gyro. At the freak off and Diddy'S too. But plug shopper, free door stopper. Nigga, you don't know if you a criminal or a cop. But you next to be locked. Ask Keefy D. Telling on yourself on Vlad TV. You dumb nigga, right? You never be me. And I never be you too. Telling on YouTube, sitting on the step, giving up myself. What the fuck I look like? My name G-Dap. Comb legacy doom. Will the bad boy see time like loan? Your extortion fell through. You friend to no one, like the moon. What did you do? Sat back and watch him get groomed. Only badge in the room. You and wifey drunk the juice. Saw the check for Pac's life. And his back right. Guess it's bad boy for life. Or should I say same gang? You the same lane. That Diddy let hang. And now he chain gang. Damn, you rocked him, fella. Didn't you? For the mozzarella. Did it for Wolf and his mother, D-Ferg and Kurt Burrow. Nah, nigga, you did it cause your ass ain't thorough. And you ain't from the boroughs. Joke, no joke, you know what it is. This one's for the whole earth, you know. When they get disrespectful, I just go to the booth and kick the truth to the young black youth. Joke, no joke, you know what it is. Keep on hating, you know what it is. Check it out. Choke, no joke. Learn from mistakes. DJ S&S the Great. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. Best day of my life, no sleep all night. Broke day for weeks, my cash was right. My capo tight, take our loot, unite. 23-hour shifts had to see loot like Mike. Cash, lovely, yeah, Dougie. How could this day get so ugly? Wifey bout to pop, like some bubbly. Yo, through those 9 months, don't really bug me. Felt like a star, cop first car. Get up with the guard, what it is, baby paw. Hip out the cop a van, get up with our mans. Before we reached our low spot, toast blam. Unaware what happened, discussing and clapping. It wasn't loud, ain't shit gonna happen. Me being stupid instead of getting they moving. This nigga kept chefing like the woo one. Then we heard a knock, no one knew of this spot. Since niggas in the spot, since niggas not. Ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. I'm in the precinct all damn even. This good cop, bad cop shit got me steaming. No, I was caught, I ain't give a fuck. Had jokes like the usual suspects line up. Book times up, came back fuck. Shirt wrinkled up, my pigs roughed me up. Time's up, heard them clink of the cuffs. Niggas was so deep they had to call on the bus. Everybody that checks outside waiting on us like ghetto celebs. Our cells ain't plush. 5 in the book and gave a whooping. He never forget, they gotta be split. Up in the courtroom, they cause it ruckus. Everybody in the jacks waiting on us. Try to bail us out, that thought got thrown out. Bill one so high, I couldn't bear half a nigga out. Copped out, that's what first fell in the bow. Back on the bus, Rikers the row. Wifey in the courtroom crying out. We love y'all with tears running in their mouth. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. Choke no joke, learn from mistakes. Keep chasing that paper, you gonna catch a case. DJ S&S the great.
Choke no joke. I'm in the building, baby. You heard me? How y'all feeling out there? Hope you're feeling good. If you're feeling good, let me hear you say real good. All right. As y'all know, we in day 3 of Diddy's downfall trial. The trial that took place because niggas got on the internet and told all these stories about Diddy. And now Homeland Security done swooped down on him, you know, similar to the R. Kelly thing, you know, and here we are. Is there anybody in here in the medical field tonight? Do we have any nurses here? Because it is actually National Nurse Week. Hold on. Get a little coaster for my water here. What up, TikTok? I'm live on YouTube. You know what I mean? You can stay here and build with the God, or you can come over to YouTube. I'm live on TikTok. If you want to come over there, you can go over there. You can stay here, you know. But tonight, you know, I got, well, you know what? I'll save it. But let's get into the Diddy trial, day 3. Where are my notes? You know, I have to take down notes. It's a lot to remember. So yesterday, as you know, was the second day of the trial, and we just dealing with jury selection here. So today, like I told y'all earlier today, if you tapped in earlier, when I got lost and the ducks just tried to attack me, you're like, I don't know if y'all got to see that, but If you didn't get to see that earlier, we had a wild morning for the morning inspiration. You know, being out in the wilderness. Uh, yeah, I tried to walk a trail that I never walked before. And I'm walking and walking and walking, and I come out and I think I got a good sense of direction of where I'm at. Man, it took me about an hour after my phone died. So I had no GPS on that phone. I had my other phone that only had about 4%. And I had to look at the map and try to figure out which way I had to walk to get back to my car. Oh man, it took me a whole hour, bro. A whole hour. Like, and I came out totally on the opposite side of where I was supposed to be going. I don't know how I got all the way over there, but anyway, it rained on me. Yeah, today was one of those days, but it's all good. It was all in the working out, and I wound up doing like 6 miles instead of my normal 3 miles. But yeah, so yesterday they picked up 35 jurors. Today they got the 45 that they needed. So um, they ended court early today, actually. And tomorrow, court will be dark. They will not have court tomorrow. So if you've been following the trial and you look up tomorrow and you look in and see what's going on and you don't see anything, don't be shocked because I already told you there's no court tomorrow. Okay. Uh, reason being the judge, feel like they have the 45 people that they need to move on with this jury, which will eventually by Friday when they come back will get cut down to the 12 main jurors and the 6 alternates in case something, happens for whatever reason. Um, someone gets disqualified, somebody go in the press, they say something, uh, any of those things, health reasons, family emergencies, any of these things that can happen with the jury is the reason why they got the 6 alternates. This probably is not going to last longer than 3 months tops, probably 2 months, because as you can see, Puff got a speedy trial. He's in court already, fighting this. So we will see what his fate is by July. Yeah, somewhere in July. Um, and if you didn't know, he is facing life with these charges, which would be crazy to see this dude get life in jail for being a rock star. But and like I do y'all think that the white rock stars party more conventional than the blacks? Like you think like R. Kelly and Diddy, with these charges they get, do you think that like AC/DC, Van Halen, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, do you think these guys was just like really good guys on tour with the women? Like, yeah, I don't think women followed them from state to state, country to country. Yet, like, man, these white artists were good. Like, they never get in trouble. They were really respectful. There probably was no drugs over there neither with the white uh, rock artists. I don't think they did drugs. They might have drank a little, but they didn't get in no trouble. They were really clean cut. you know, very respectful artists, you know. It's like crazy. They ain't using the man act for none of the. I'm not trying to make it a race thing, but goddamn, like party like a rock star came from the rock artist. Goddamn it, like, and none of these people get in trouble. You have to have a whole house full of chicks. Women get raped in the Playboy Mansion. This nigga go to the grave with a smile on his face. It's man. Like I said, I ain't trying to make it a color thing, but if you really think that these rock stars, he probably even these country artists, like you really think that, man. But you know what? Elvis married a 14-year-old girl, and nobody said nothing. That nigga ain't go to jail. He was the king of rock and roll, married a 14-year-old, and nobody sent him to jail. No man act, no statutory rape. Like, bro. Oh Lord, man. Let me see something. How old was Elvis? Man. Not Priscilla Presley. He was 24. She was 14. That ain't Shannon Sharp numbers, but that's definitely R. Kelly numbers. Wow. They get over there. But like I told y'all, I'm gonna get to Diddy in a second. But once again, it is Nurse Week, right? And with it being Nurse Week, I want to introduce y'all to some people, right? Hold on 1 second here. So as y'all know, uh, the travel group, you know, we was out in on our Virgin cruise, and on our Virgin cruise, you know, we met some cool people, right? While we was out there on our cruise, and it was a group called the Nurse Gang, which was it was 200 nurses. I think all of color, I believe. Not that that matters, but it was 200 nurses, and I met a young lady by the name of Jessica, and she was telling me about her being a nurse, and she was very excited and energetic. You got to talk to me. You got to talk to me. And then there was my man Phil. There was other people, and we had a nurse with us, my girl Whitney. But I'm going to bring Jessica on because it's Nurse Week, and we was talking about doing an interview. So when better than to do it now during Nurse Week. So shout out to all the nurses out there. How you
Hello.
doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. Now, of course, I met you with me and my crew, the travel group on Virgin Voyages. Uh,
Yes.
how did you like Virgin Voyages?
I loved it. It was actually my first cruise, so for it to be my first cruise, they did a beautiful job. They really did.
Oh, so that was your very, very, very first cruise.
My very, very first cruise ever.
What did you like about it the most?
What I liked about it the most was like they had everything that you wanted on there as far as food, entertainment. I like got my tattoo elaborated, and the tattoo artist on there was phenomenal. It was just a overall just beautiful experience. The casino, I can't go nowhere without one, and it definitely had one. It was nice.
What was your favorite restaurant?
I think my favorite restaurant was actually the Asian one where the hot pot one where they cook it in front of you. I'm trying to think of the
Gumbe,
name. Can't even think of the
Gumbe,
name.
Gumbe.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, we had fun in there that night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really fun. I actually sat with some other people that weren't nurses because me and my friend came a little late, but we had a beautiful time and the food was different. Like I never tried it before, so that was why it was my favorite restaurant.
Okay. All right, cool. So, did you like the entertainment on the ship?
I didn't catch too much of it. I caught like the parties. The parties was definitely nice. It definitely had like a vibe to it. And I love how they just had themes every different night for like us. It didn't get boring. Like it made us like kind of just like interact with the whole boat and different people.
Right. You went to the pajama party?
I did. That was one of the first parties, I
Yeah, that
believe.
was the first
Yep.
party.
Yeah. We didn't leave till almost like 2 o'clock. It was we was there for like it was a real club.
Right. Oh, I might got you on camera then, because we get on that. Right.
Maybe, maybe.
Uh, what about the Scarlet Night, the red party at the pool? Did you like that?
Yes, that one was one of my favorite ones because I was able to dress down. I did not wear a whole bunch of heels that night. By that night, it was like the third night where I had partied. I was kind of like, yo, this is a lot of partying for one person. But I definitely did my makeup, got nice and dressed, and wore some sneakers, and I had a fun time. I was able to move around the way I could it in my heels. It was nice.
Did you go to the after party, the hip hop party in the Manor?
Yeah, that with DJ Taj.
Yes.
Yes, she was nice too. Did you catch her in Mexico? Was it Mexico? No, Bahamas. She was the DJ in Bahamas.
Oh, at the pool at the Bimini Club.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. She's nice, right?
yes, she is. She's Trinidadian.
Yeah. And she Trinidadian or Belizean?
No, no, no. Yeah, you're right. I got
Belizean.
somebody else. Yeah, from Belize. Because I was like, wait a minute, her accent was different.
Okay.
You're right.
Right. All right. So tell me about this group that y'all had put together, and how did you get involved in that, and how was it moving around on the boat?
So actually, the lady who put it together is like a kind of like a nurse influencer, and she kind of just did like a whole mass like I'm having this big boat party for nurses. All who want to come can come. And me and my friend had just graduated nursing school like that year of her doing everything. We said, you know what, this is gonna be our like celebration to ourselves. So we like planned way ahead of time, so when it finally was time to actually do the cruise, we was like, yo, we can't believe it's here. And like she did a beautiful job putting everything together. And that's basically how we found out, was just following her on her page.
Okay. Would you go on Virgin again?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
All
It,
right. Well, we got another nurse in here, but a male nurse. That was also on the cruise with you. I don't know if you know this guy. Let's see. Do you know
No,
Phil?
no, we didn't meet.
I don't
So
think we met on the cruise.
That's
no,
how many. That's how many of y'all it was.
Yeah,
it
it was a
was.
lot. It was a lot.
Yeah. So, all right, Phil, how did you enjoy the cruise?
Oh, it was fun. Just getting to meet different people from different walks, different states, people that doing, different type of nursing, things outside of nursing. The cruise was fun because I only been on. That was my first time on Virgin, like first time doing adult only. That was cool. All of the events that the nurses had, that was cool. I mean, I had no complaints with that. She did a thing.
Right. What was your favorite place to eat at on the cruise?
On the boat.
Oh yeah, on Virgin. Yeah. What was
Um, the steakhouse. The steakhouse was that the Wake.
your? Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite one, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. We tore that up twice.
Yeah, yeah.
So all right, so it's Nurse Week. So let's get into that and your background. So Jessica, you was here first. So how long have you been inspired to be a nurse, and where did you go to school?
So I was inspired to be a nurse since I was like a little girl. My grandmother was actually a nurse, and I watched her like take care of people. And that's when I kind of became more like passionate about becoming a nurse, is seeing how she took care of people. And I actually took like steps. I was a CNA first when I first graduated out of high school, and then I
Wait,
became
what's the CNA?
a certified nursing assistant. So
Okay.
they help the nurses out by basically being the eyes and ears for the nurses and just making sure all the residents are good, taken care of. If anybody needs help getting dressed, they help dress them. They help feed them. If they need help getting fed. So I was a CNA first, and then I became a LPN, which is a licensed practical nurse. So I didn't have yet RN duties yet, but I was a LPN for about like maybe 6 years or so, and that's how I got my assessments down packed and really knew that I wanted to go further and become a registered nurse. So in 2023, I graduated as a RN ASN registered nurse with my associates, and then I got my BSN just last year. So
All right. Now go back to the first. Was it CA? Right.
CNA.
CNA. All right. What do you have to do to get that qualification?
To be quite honest, it's fairly easy. The course is like maybe I'm in Massachusetts. It takes about maybe 3 to 4 months here. And it's just basically just going through skills, learning how to make a bed, learning how to feed somebody who can't feed themselves, learning how to bathe somebody who cannot bathe themselves, learning how to get people up who cannot, who need assistance. And you basically learn how to do those skills. They test you on those skills. It's not, you take like a little test about like, like body mechanics and stuff like that. And that's about it. That's about it.
Okay. All right. So Phil, what inspired you to be a nurse?
It's weird. I didn't never even had nursing on my radar, man. I ain't gonna lie. I had went to college before when I got out of high school. I originally wanted to be like a health and gym teacher because my gym and health teacher in Brooklyn was cool. But then I looked at that pay. I'm like, nah, that can't be it. So I ended up going to school just for health studies at first. School didn't really work out right away, so I ended up going to Job Corps for construction. So I was working local 7 in Manhattan, the union in Manhattan for tile and everything. And then I ended up getting into it with this Italian dude. Another story, but one of my aunt's friend who's an anesthesia nurse, which is one of the top, probably the top paying nurse in the profession. She was like, you should look into nursing, but I was still thinking like a typical knucklehead. Nah, I'm not doing no nursing. I'm doing this construction. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And then my aunt was like, you should listen to what she said because she make like $350 a year. I'm like, $350 as a nurse? I'm like, nah, this ain't no way. So then I went to look it up, and I'm like, anesthesia nurse starting off 210 to 240 a year. I'm like, wait, what's this? And then I'm like, so where the other 90, you know what I'm saying? Where the other 100 come from? And then what happened is she actually is she is one, and she teaches as a professor at SUNY Downstate, which is no longer that program is no longer here. But so from there I went to Lincoln Tech in Jersey for the LPN program. Passed the test. I still was kind of iffy about it, and then I just jumped into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I could always have a job. I could go wherever. I don't got to worry about getting laid off. I ain't got to worry about getting into it with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because as an apprentice in a union or construction, they give you a little bit of a hard time, especially if you know what you're doing, and especially if you're black and you know what you're doing.
Right.
because it was an old Trini dude by the name of Evans. He put me on and showed me the ropes. So once he showed me how to do what I knew how to do, I took off, and they didn't like that, especially in the wintertime. You know how construction get in the wintertime, it get a little bit cutthroat. So long story short, the dude got me kicked off the job. His cousin was there. It was that kind of play. But anyway, I went to the LPN program. I was working in Staten Island in a foster care agency in the health department just to get my feet wet. I just needed a job at the time. And then from there, I went upstate near Albany, started working in a nursing home. They actually had a RN program in the area at Fulton Montgomery, one of the SUNY schools upstate. And I finished my associates in 2017, and now I'm looking to see what's the next step. I'm trying to move up again, masters and something. I'm trying to move up. I'm actually thinking about the anesthesia nurse, but the only thing is like you got to sign a waiver. You got to sign a waiver in some of these schools that you cannot work for 3 years for the whole
Really?
program. So yeah, 3 straight years, but it's worth it at the end. Like I just seen something the other day. They starting to pay like $260 an hour. You know what I'm saying? You could get real money.
Money in it.
It's a lot of
Right.
money, but
I'm
you gotta you
looking
gotta
that
you
way
gotta put that
too.
work in. Yeah, but what I start realizing when I started doing my research, you know how phones are. The more you start typing things in, the more things start popping up. So I
Mhm.
start seeing all kind of like prep schools because it's one of the toughest programs, period. Like in any profession, that's one of the. But they got like different prep schools, different ways. You know what I mean? You could get around things to get your feet wet. So when you get in the program, you're just not, going crazy and stressed out and worried about failing and stuff like that. So it's different ways. I'm just trying to figure out what's the next step right now, though.
Right.
All right, cool. So Jessica, once you graduated from college or you got your degree where you could start working as a nurse, how long did it take for you to land employment?
Not long. I had a job before I had even
Right.
graduated. Like I had the best nursing instructor who actually was my clinical teacher, and she was an educator. So she had us kind of go through every place we went to go to. I went to the OR, I went to PACU, I went to the ER. Wherever I had like a little like inclination of where I wanted to work, she let us kind of like shadow there. So I had already off rip knew that I wanted to be an ER nurse. It was no doubt about it. That's where I wanted to go. And that's where I ended up right after school. I already had a job. I just had to take my NCLEX and just get paid as a nurse. Until then, they pay you as like a student nurse. But I
Mhm.
had a job right before I graduated.
So would both of y'all recommend for people that don't know what they want to do and they might want to be in the medical field? Would you encourage them to be a nurse?
I would say definitely
Absolutely.
go where your heart is. I feel like a lot of days, well, a lot of time these days, a lot of people are going where the money is, and I get it. But nursing is more than just money. It's more than just you just getting a paycheck. You got to have compassion, and you have to have the will and determination, and be willing to always be learning. Because what you learned 2 years ago does not hold today. It's always evolving. So it's like you never can get complacent. That's why they have us do our CEUs and stuff like that, because you really need to like know and learn the new stuff coming out. Like ever since COVID, there's like a whole new wave of things that just happened from like when I was like an LPN before COVID. Like it's a lot happening. So, I mean, I would say if that's your passion, that's where your heart is, and that's where you can really see yourself like growing and striving in, then do it. If it's just a money thing, you're gonna get burnt out quick. You're gonna get
Yeah.
burnt out quick.
I mean, at first for me it was a little difficult. Like I said, coming from construction, when I'm in a class, the LPN class, it's like CNAs, it's people fresh out of high school. It's people with different things, home health days and stuff like that. I'm super green. I don't know nothing. And at first it was like a money thing. And Jessica will tell you the same. As an LPN, you working in these nursing homes, that could either send you, yes, I'm gonna continue, or no, I'm not gonna continue. And then COVID was the same way. COVID made or break a lot of people. It retired people. It brought people out of retirement. That was probably the toughest thing I ever had to do, like in my entire life, is work through COVID. So it's like even people. It was hard for people at home too. You know what I'm saying? But just imagine seeing that every day, all day. You just around death and just like all the unknowns. Because I don't, Jessica, was you traveling during COVID or not yet?
No, I was stationed. Like I had like one job. Thank goodness.
All right, yeah. So like,
And,
so Choke. I went to Long Island. I was at Nassau University Medical Center by Roosevelt Field, and I'll never forget. Like, it was my first travel assignment, everything, because I was working staff at the time. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm like, yo, if this is killing everybody, if I'm gonna go out, I might as well get paid on the way out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me go see what this is about. And I ain't gonna lie, so they had to do a briefing. Anywhere you went for COVID, they had to do a briefing because they got to tell you what they, what's known so far, what's not known, all of the procedures and stuff like that. So when we go to the basement, this basement is like a maze. First thing we see is the morgue. Second thing we see is the tractor trailers. You remember the tractor in this, what they trying to do? Like they trying to scare us, like, you know what I'm saying? So then I'm like, we go to the classroom, they briefing us, and then we go right upstairs, and we go, and all I'm seeing is, I keep calling the dude Pacquiao. He wasn't Pacquiao, but that's why he looked to me, and I could
Right.
just see like death on his face. Like it was just crazy. Everybody was running around. Still got pictures giving like meds. It was like drawers full of meds. Everything was all over the place. Like everybody was scared. I got most of my experience during COVID, honestly, because we had to do everything. We had to do everybody was scared. This is March 2020. Everything really kicked off January. So it's still the unknown. So I went from the unknown to like and unstructured, like this chaos, to all right, this is how we got to treat it, and this is what I really got to do. You know what I'm saying? So now when I get COVID patients, I'm like, it's like nothing. This is like a walk in the park. But before I was scared. You know what I mean? So I would say, like, if you're thinking about nursing, take the steps towards it. If you want to try maybe CNA first, maybe LPN first, or if you want to just dive right into it. And I encourage more men to do it too. Like, if hindsight is 2020, right? If I could go back, I would have probably did this out of high school. But we in the hood, we're not thinking about nurses, especially not as males. But if I could go back, I would have been doing this a long time ago, super long time ago.
Well, that's encouraging because I'm sure there's people watching that probably got sons, you know what I'm saying, and probably like, you want to be a nurse, so and they look at you and it's inspiring.
Yeah,
Especially if you saying if you did it earlier, you'd be a lot further today. You
way
know,
further. I mean,
so just
you got your knucklehead days, so you're not really thinking about nothing, right? But it's two ways you could think about things, and I know you, Choke. You done interview people on far left dark side and people in the positive light. I know, but I look at motivation from the music as two different ways. You can look at it and do something positive, or you can look at it and do something negative. So I still take my motivation from the music, but I just look at it as a positive side now, instead of like back in the day when I probably would have did something stupid. You know what I'm saying?
right, same way with me. I feel the same way. If I could
Right.
go back and change it, I would have never been in the street. That shit was a waste of time. You know, so I just went back to school and stayed in school. But like you said, in hindsight. So Jessica, what's like one of the worst experiences that you had being a nurse?
Man.
one of the worst. I had a few. I definitely had a few. I would say one of the worst experiences was maybe death. Like I feel like I've never had to see someone die. I always call it lucking out. Like they'll be dying, and then I'll be like leaving. So I don't see it. So when I come back, they're already dead. I'm like, Dad, that's real sad. I get to feel it, but not have to see it. But one day on Thanksgiving, I was at LPN, and I had an assignment. I was traveling, and there's a guy. I was doing a 7 to 3, like around like 11 o'clock. He passed away from like 7 to 11 he was alive, and then 11 o'clock I'm about to do my afternoon pass started, and the CNAs come running to me, and mind you, I'm an LPN, so LPNs can do everything I say that RNs can do, except for we cannot pronounce people dead. So at the time when I had to go check him, when they told me that he was, passed away, he looked alive to me. Like in my head, I still seen him breathing, I still seen him moving, but he was clearly not alive. But like in my head, I'm like, there's no way on Thanksgiving though, Lord. Like I'm like, no, I'm like calling his name, tapping him. You know, he was a DNR, which means do not resuscitate. So I didn't have to worry about trying to revive him, do CPR, thank God. But it just that was my first time seeing someone actually here than not here. And that really hit me hard. And I was like, you know what? This is nursing. This is real. This is a real thing.
How did that affect you? Like, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
How did that affect you? Like walking into your job, before that, and then how was the job for you after that?
So, like because I had heard of a couple of people passing away. I know it comes with, I worked in geriatrics. So a lot of the time we work in nursing homes, that's their last stop. You know, that's their last stop. So it's a difference between like, knowing that and seeing it. So afterwards, I really just felt like I felt more connected to my people that I was taking care of, because at the end of the day, you don't never know if 5 minutes from now Miss Susie won't be here or something of that nature. Like, not that I was never disconnected from them, but it's like I started realizing how life alone just is precious. Period. Just looking around, because legit, like I said, from 7 to 11 a.m. talking, saying whatever we had to say to each other, and then from 11 to 3 that was it. Body bags and everything. That really really hit home for me, just not even as just a nurse, but just as a person in general, because I was like, that's how vital life is, and that's how important we are. Like as an LPN, I was working in different capacities like ER and stuff like that, but that really built on me becoming an RN, and me seeing things in the ER, and me seeing people come in the ER who can't breathe or are having chest pain, or we had to do CPR on. That made me like just work extra hard because I want to save that life, But yeah, that really hit home.
How about you, Phil? Was the COVID the worst thing for you, or you seen worse?
So I'll piggyback off of what Jessica said. My first death, and like she said, a DNR, which is, if something happened, you can't really touch them. You gotta let them do, you gotta let them just go unless they make it back on their own. You know what I mean? I had this lady that she actually came to the nursing home just to get well enough to fly to Florida to die with her family. Like, she wanted to go see everybody. And she was eating and like literally died in my arms. Like I couldn't do nothing about it. I couldn't do the Heimlich. I couldn't call nothing because she's a DNR. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of like was on my mind like a little bit. It kind of like not deter me, but I kind of like paused for a second, like, yo, this is kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody literally died in my arms, which is nuts. But when you work in a nursing home, like she said, a lot of the time that's the final stop. And I don't mean to sound cold, but I just gotta say it exactly how it is. Once a few of my favorite patients died, after that it was just like whatever. You know what I'm saying? I do CPR all the time, and it don't even phase me no more. I bring them back to life, whatever like that. But I think the maybe the worst thing that I seen, a female had the flesh eating virus down there.
Ooh.
I can never forget that ever in my life. Like I literally did not like women for like 2 hours. I had to go get a drink. I had to go get a drink after work. That was the worst thing I ever seen in my life, ever in my life. I could never forget that. On above death, above everything. Like seeing death is one thing, but seeing and literally having to touch, yeah, that did it for me. That did it for me.
All right, well, we're gonna change the Jesus Christ.
You asked, man. You gonna get some stories.
I know. But let's change it to something more godly. Jessica, has there ever been a situation where you said there is a God? You witnessed something in the medical field, or as you working, that made you believe that there's something more than a doctor, than some more spiritual.
For me, definitely. Like I pride myself. Like ever since I got my RN last year, I work in every capacity that my it would not let me go into. And I worked in dialysis thus far. I worked in the ER thus far. I worked in cardiac teleunit. I worked in maternity. Like I've done things that I probably would have never experienced or done if I wasn't a registered nurse. And there in maternity, that's where I feel like the light switch. I got to see a birth.
Mm.
you know, babies being born. So like from death to birth, that was like the beautifulest thing. And I remember there was this woman, she was having twins, and I didn't notice, and I have twin brothers. I didn't notice that usually when you have twins, that like it's a chance of the other baby coming out breech, which is they're coming out feet first, and that's the last thing you want because they can get shoulder dystocia, which like their shoulder can get caught, you know, um, in the mother's down region or whatever on the mother's like pelvic area, and that's like the hardest thing, because then that can like make a mother have a C-section, the baby starts losing all type of oxygen, a whole bunch of stuff. So it was a complicated birth at first, and like it was really bad. I can't even go into the description of how bad it was, but like the mother started panicking, so of course we had to like kind of calm her down. Then of course when the mother panics, the baby starts like not panicking, but like the baby gets affected. You can see that, that's all on monitor. So this is like, it was me and another nurse in there, and I'm new because like I just had started. So we actually got in there and kind of was like did what nurses do, which are basically angels. Like we had to calm this mother down, kind of like talk her through everything, let her know like when she's okay, the baby's okay, like just put into her head. Although it did not actually look good for that baby, it didn't, it just really didn't, because the way everything was going. But with her calming down and us just having calming words, she was holding our hands like so tightly, like my hand was red, and you see me, like it was it was red. But when I like, this is how I knew there was a God, because like she just kept saying like, oh God, just help me, Lord. Like like she, instead of just screaming and stuff, she's chanting, not chanting, like she's like calling on the Lord's name, and we're just like, yes, like keep breathing or whatever case may be. Long story short, like the doctor had to get on there and do this like I forgot what they call it. Like, it's like this maneuver where they can like maneuver the baby. Like they had to really like turn this woman's stomach and
Oh yeah.
kind of like get the baby shoulder out of there, where she was able to get like a couple of little more pushes and was able to push that baby out, because she didn't want a C-section, and it was looking that way because the baby started losing, like I said, some oxygen. But with her just calming down, we were able to get the baby out of there, and she was good. He was good after a while. So that was
I know y'all was celebrating in there, boy.
yeah, we were. And then that's when I decided, I'm like, maybe maternity's not for me, because that was hard. I'm like, no, I don't want to see nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like, I like maternity, I like helping. Like, I'm like, maybe this is not for me. But,
how about you, Phil? You ever seen any miracle things happen?
Yeah. I remember I was working upstate. And this lady, this older lady, had came in. I can't remember. She has. I think it was like after surgery. She had like this weird situation where like she would not open her eyes, like she wouldn't speak and everything like that. So the family came. She was a full code. So full code is the total opposite of DNR, what we was talking about when we can't do nothing. A full code is where if something happened, they want everything done, no matter what it takes, right? So the doctor was kind of making me mad because he was kind of just writing her off like, no, you need to make a DNR, this is that. And I'm telling her, this is like shortly after I stopped working in a nursing home. So the family's panicking, they crying. I guess she was like the matriarch of the family, right? She took care of everybody. So they flying in from out of town. They really thinking like this is the last straw. And I'm telling her on the side, like, miss, like I know what the doctor is telling y'all, but I'm telling you, like, I worked in nursing home before. She's nowhere near dying. Like, she's not ready to go. I'm telling you, she's not ready to go. So I just kind of like kept advocating for the patient or whatever. So I had like a couple of days off. And when I came, they decided not to make her a DNR. So they wanted to make sure everything was done. I'm like, I just think it's like a reaction or something. And the doctor was like literally brushing the family off, pushing them in the direction to make them a DNR or whatever like that. So I had a couple of days off, and when I came back, this family like was like praising me. They kept asking for me and stuff. I'm like, what happened? It's like, because of you, like we didn't make our mom a DNR. They changed her medication up. She's like completely normal now. So this particular hospital had the nursing home connected to the hospital like through a tunnel. So I was able to go. So they put her in rehab for a couple of days just to make sure, like, she was, all the way back. And when I went to go see her, like, you would have never thought anything was wrong with her. And then I ended up getting like an award from the hospital for that shit. Like, it was crazy,
bro.
crazy.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Y'all got me tearing up. This is an emotional show over here. All right, well, I know y'all got things to do, so I'm gonna let y'all wrap it up. So, Jessica, what you want to say? You got social media? You want to promote anything?
Yes, I do. Real quick, I do want to promote my book. I have written a book. It's called
Okay.
Oh, that's what's up.
It's Already Mine. It's on Amazon. I actually wrote it April 3rd, which was 2 days before we went on the cruise. Which was part of my Yeah, it was part of a vision board that I made for myself, graduating nursing school, going on a cruise and all that stuff. So all came to light all at once. So in this book is basically about obtaining your goals, and it gives you practical steps that I have done that have allowed me to obtain a couple of goals. One was nursing, one was becoming an entrepreneur, and the other one was like becoming a homeowner. I did that all within like 3 or 4 years. Within me still going to nursing school and me writing this book, like I took the steps that I did to get those accomplishments done, and I put them in a book, and I know that they work because they're proven theories. I did it already 4 times myself, and I actually helped my sister who just graduated last week from Ohio State University in Cincinnati.
Oh, congratulations.
I gave her some tips and tricks from my book that allowed her and helped her go through nursing school. So like I said, I know that they work. It's just about properly planning. It's about taking action. It's about just continuing and persevering and not, just being consistent. And I go through like different measures, such as making vision boards, such as writing down short-term and long-term goals. Like I really get into nitty-gritty. So I'm going to be definitely promoting that book more on my social medias. And you can find me at Just Too Real For You on Instagram. You can find me on JESS, the number 2, REL, the number 4, and then you on Instagram. And on Facebook, I'm just simply Jessica Johnson on Facebook, and that's JESSICA Johnson, JOHNSON. And my TikTok handle is Just Royal 89 on TikTok. So yes.
Spell it.
Oh, sorry, JESS. Royal is ROYAL 89.
Just Royal. Yes. All right, and where can they get the book?
Thank you. Yes, they can get the book on Amazon. They can get the book on Amazon. It's $12.99. I also have an activity book that goes along with it because they go hand in hand, but I didn't want to push both of them down anybody's throat. So you get one, you get whichever one you want, but you read the book, and this is actually the book that goes along with it. This goes into further detail on how to create a short-term and long-term goal, how to make a SMART plan, which basically helps people just break down their big unobtainable, I'll put that in quotation marks, unattainable goals into small little steps that you can do to obtain that big goal, because nothing really is, we're limitless creatures. It's us that puts a limit on ourselves. And I firmly believe that, like, once we truly connect our mind, bodies, and souls together, we can accomplish and do anything. I don't believe in putting a ceiling or a cap on myself. That's me going into different areas of nursing, seeing what works for me. That's me also simultaneously going to school. That's me just doing everything that I said that I want to do. I come for it. It's mine. I claim it, move towards it. So that's why I just emphasize in my book too.
That's good. Well, I'm gonna make sure I get me a copy.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely support. I'll support for sure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so Phil, any last words for you?
Real quick, Jessica, you did you book for next year, Nurse Gang, or?
Yeah, I booked through through Virgin. I booked through Virgin. But
yeah, I booked too. Yeah, I'll be there.
We going back too. We going back.
Yeah. I just got a shout out to Cara, which is APRM Beauty, the one that threw the cruise. She did an amazing job. The idea that she had, I'm glad that things turned out the way it was. I know it was the first one, so she got her little trial and errors, but for the most part, got to give her all the praise for sure for putting that thing together and bringing people together. I met people from all over, networking and things like that. As far as myself, I don't really got a book or nothing like that. I'm still doing construction though. My construction page, because I'm still flipping houses and stuff, will be the number 3 miles up LLC on everything when it's up and running. Right now my IG is scrub life underscore Phil. So spelled how it sounds, SCRUBLIFE underscore PHIL on IG, and Philip Gill on Facebook. PHILIPGUILD. You can find me there. That's pretty much it for me.
Well, it was a pleasure having y'all both on. Y'all representing all the nurses out there tonight, all
Yeah,
across.
definitely happy Nurses Week to everybody for sure.
Yes, definitely.
And we got a couple of nurses in the chat I saw, so they here to support y'all.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
But anytime y'all want to come back, y'all welcome. I'm here.
Absolutely.
Just send me a text and choke. I got to come on. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you for allowing us to come on.
But it was a pleasure meeting y'all, man. We had a great time. This is us right here.
Yeah. That's what we linked. That's what we linked up in the Bahamas.
Yeah. So I got, all of us, we had a really good time. That's what we saw y'all. Y'all gave us a lift over there.
Yeah. To Bimini, yeah.
Yeah, but man, I had such a great time on that trip. Such a great
that
time.
was fun. I needed that. I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep at all, but I had fun.
Right. There you go, right there, right?
Oh yeah, that's me and the other people we was chilling with. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So like I said, man, anytime y'all want to come back, y'all welcome, man.
Thank
All
you
right,
for
cool.
having me.
All right, y'all have a good one, man.
You too. Take care.
All right, you too, man.
All right, peace. Happy Nurse Week to y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, y'all. Choke no joke. Y'all know what it is. So shout out to all the nurses out there. Like I said, we had a great time. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. It made me a little emotional and teary-eyed. I like when people pursue their dreams, and execute them. Or, like she said, put a vision board together and start knocking things off that vision board, knocking them off, just making it happen. It's just consistency. You know what I mean? Just consistency and staying focused and not let people talk you out of your dreams. If you got a dream, follow it. You know what I'm saying? Execute it. So shout out to Jessica and Phil for coming through. Never know, I might have some more nurses pop up. Shout out to Arlene. And let's get back into this Diddy thing. So we got the 45 people who's already picked in the Diddy trial. I mean, in the jurors. They done knocked them down. They got the 45. Tomorrow there's no court. Friday, when they do have court, you're gonna have 12 actual jurors. The judge, they'll narrow it down, the 45 to 12 actual jurors, and then 6 alternates. And then on Monday, the trial started, but they will start with the opening arguments. The prosecutor is going to say what they alleging Diddy is guilty of, and the defense is going to tell the jury, they full of crap, da-da-da-da-da. Our client is a music mogul, da-da-da-da-da. He's a swinger. He has a freaky lifestyle, but he is no criminal. They're going to run that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But the interesting thing is that witness 3, and you know they all Jane Doe's or whatever. So Jane Doe 3, who was scheduled to testify, has the prosecution cannot find them. They are not responding. They don't know where they at. Will they find them by Monday? We don't know. But the judge said, hey, that's y'all problem. You know what I'm saying? Come Monday, if witness number 3 is not around, we are proceeding with the trial. Okay, so that's on y'all. That's not on me. Y'all better do what y'all got to do to track this person down. But in the meantime, the show will go on Monday with the opening arguments, whether they have the witness or not. Because after the opening arguments, you know what comes next. If you've been watching me, you know, covering these trials, you know what happens next. And you don't have to be a lawyer, because I'm not, right? It's going to be, okay, as soon as they finish, the prosecution do their open arguments, the defense do their open arguments. After that, the judge is telling them, yo, call your first witness. So they got 3 main witnesses as Jane Doe's, which we know number 1 is Cassie, number 2 and number 3. 3 went missing. Now, I'm going to speculate on this one. And I think eventually it will come out who number 3 is. I think number 3 is allegedly, guessing that number 3 is the girl from Making of the Band. And Danity Kane, Dawn Ricard, allegedly. I'm guessing that it may be her, because I remember when the indictment came down or whatever, and then the lawsuits or whatever started hitting. I remember the girl Dawn, she jumped in after just defending Diddy and saying Diddy never did anything wrong to her, this, that, and the third. And then remember, they try to say that the other girl from Dirty Money, Kalina or whatever her name is, reached out to Dawn or whatever, and they were trying to say allegedly with some intimidation stuff and all this other stuff going on. That's why I believe that allegedly that Jane Doe 3 is Dawn Ricard. And being that she's so wishy-washy and I feel like she be lying or whatever, I think that she was going to be the one to come in and say all that stuff that she saw with Cassie and Diddy and all that. And if it ain't her, it may be the Tiffany Red girl. But I don't see the Tiffany Red girl backing down. I can see Dawn backing down because she flip-flopped with her story when it comes to Diddy. And the cross-examination on her will be horrible. With the videos that they got of her praising Diddy and saying he never did nothing wrong and all this other stuff. And she would get on the stand, the defense would tear her up if it was her. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if they subpoenaed her already, then she may get in trouble if they find her. But even if she don't want to testify, then they'll just make her sit for the duration of the trial, and she won't have to testify. But she's gonna have to sit down for this trial ain't going longer than 90 days. Yeah, this trial is not going to go longer than 90 days. I doubt that highly. It'll be over in July. But whatever, however, if it's her, like I said, I don't know if it's her or not. I'm just saying allegedly. If it's her, that's the worst that can happen to her. You know what I'm saying? But if they can't find her and she don't show up, there's nothing they can do about it. You know what I'm saying? They just lost one of the witnesses. But I don't know. So tomorrow, court is dark, but we still gonna have our morning inspiration. I won't be going to that park I went to. Unless I leave with a trail of breadcrumbs, you know, like Hansel and Gretel, because I'm not trying to get lost again. But that's what it is. Day 3, Diddy trial. Day 4 will be on Friday. Day 4 will not take place tomorrow. Court is dark tomorrow. They will not have court tomorrow. So remember that there is no court tomorrow. Friday will be day 4, all right? But we'll be back with the current events tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Make sure you tune in live on TikTok, live on YouTube, 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. That's what it is. Choke No Joke, you already know. And y'all TikTokers, come subscribe to my YouTube channel, man. All right? And if you ain't following me on TikTok, YouTube, come over to TikTok. All right? Choke No Joke. You already know, man. And the new album is out right now. All right. Learn from Mistakes, Part 2. Lead the Streets. $11 hip hop joints. Shout out to my man DJ Toomp. You know what I mean? And now 3 joints, and then contemplating my next move. And Conspiracy seem to be the favorites right now. You know? So if you ain't got the album, make sure you go and get it. Choke No Joke. Learn from Mistakes, Part 2. All right. If you know the song Stay DL, then you should definitely check out Conspiracy on the album, because that's like the follow-up to Stay DL. You heard? Choke No Joke. I'm out. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Produced by Jack Brown. Let's see.
Smarter than the next one, huh? Conspiracy, you never knew it would happen. Conspiracy, you didn't do the trafficking. Conspiracy, got caught up for ratting. You didn't touch nothing. How could this happen? Conspiracy is one of the hardest charges to beat. Like the American gangsters, also defeat. When it comes to the alphabet boys, FED, you think you safe, cause you never touch the street. With the rocks or the heat, never pitch your crumb. Flip like a triathlete, I bet I repeat. Never blaze the heat, cross bead that meat. Never meet the maker of the creator that sent you to the creator. Spit pies like equator, no faker. When it come to achieving this paper, can't hate on something not in your presence. Quick lesson to those who get my message and take it for the blessings that they are. Never floss your riches to be a star. That get the bulb lit and get you locked behind bars. Like those before you did it, yeah, he did it. Yeah, he touched the sky. Admitted to the lieutenant that he was the guy. Not knowing that the FBI was pressuring the guy. With good cop, bad cop, lies, and talking about how much time he reside. But he agreed to be wired and sold out his OG. And got him hit with conspiracy. They say you don't have no evidence, but it's the truth. Don't think if you don't touch it, it won't touch you. Conspiracy, never knew it would happen. Conspiracy, you didn't do the trafficking. Conspiracy, you got caught up for ratting. You didn't touch nothing. How could this happen? Conspiracy, you never knew it would happen. Conspiracy, you didn't do the clapping. Conspiracy, you got caught up for ratting. You didn't touch nothing. How could this happen? Son woke up thinking it was a dream. Fuck! I don't know how those charges stuck. I don't know this stuff. 3 days for what? Transporting in the cell, in the feds, in Kentucky. I did everything right. Studied the game like Mike. Got championships from filling pipes with white. Variously getting them high like Mike. Jumping from the foul line. Did it better than those in my time. Who chose to shine? That wasn't a characteristic of mine. Did it like Cal Klein, A. Rich and Poe. Kev Child's only difference is nobody know that I was the cash flow behind the hustler's glow. Didn't care who knew, as long as I know that I shine. Illuminate the whole show. But bummy like AZ with the baddest hoes. You furred out like Frank, they on you like doodle on steak. I'm steady hitting the ball out the park like Hank. I'm stacking bank like Morgan Chase. Never think that a combo be a conspiracy case. Conspiracy, never knew it would happen. Conspiracy, didn't do the trafficking. Conspiracy, you got caught up for ratting. You didn't touch nothing. How could this happen? Conspiracy, never knew it would happen. Conspiracy, you didn't do the clapping. Conspiracy, you got caught up for ratting. You didn't touch nothing. How could this happen? Son was great when it came to the paper chase. That one bank couldn't even hold his base. Always kept it original, never fake. Like bathing ape, a king like Pun sealed his fate when he chatted what it do about his case. Not later knowing it be a conspiracy case. Ain't see nothing happen, but knew his face. The his points in the Fed, he got him slayed. So if you in the cell and you think a dude is true, talking about your case is something you don't do. Especially if we talking about federal. The only person that you trust is you. Okay, conspiracy.
I have to finish writing this paper. I'm swamped.
Just get Grammarly. It's free.
Choke no joke, man. I'm out. Y'all have a good night. Kiss the babies. Good night. Peace.
Choke no joke. Yeah. It's choke no joke. Choke no joke. Chicken choke no joke. Choke no joke, nigga.